Hello, everybody. So today I will be talking about how you can turn old computer hardware into a coffee top arcade cabinet. There are a lot of old computer motherboards that uses the Pentium 4 Core Core 2 Dual or Athlon 264 chipsets, and you can buy them for very little money, or if you have any laying around in your garage or storage space, you could take it out and turn it into a coffee top arcade cabinet, or you could even turn it into an arcade cabinet if you want to. And all you really need is you need a LCD monitor, some old hard drives, whether they be IDE hard drives or EIDE hard drives, or old SATA hard drives. So if you have a Pentium 4, a 478 pin or 423 pin Pentium 4, or an old Athlon, you would probably need a IDE hard drive. And there are a lot of them laying around, and they're not very much money. And if you have a Core 2 Dual or a Athlon 264, you could use a SATA hard drive, and you could buy a 500 gigabyte SATA hard drive or 1 terabyte or whatever, and use it in those old computers. And you could just buy a ATX power supply and connect it to your motherboard and all your devices, like your hard drives and other things. And you could buy a front panel case connector pins. That would be the pins that go in the front of your desktop computer, which connect the USB ports, stereo port, and power switch and reset switch. So you just get a front panel power case connector pins. Those could be bought pretty cheaply. You could just kind of like make a cutout in the wood and put that in there. And also you will need 2 or 3 120 millimeter case fans. So one set of 120 millimeter case fans could be used to send air into the case or cabinet, and you could have another 120 millimeter fan exhaust the hot air out of the case. And you'll need a graphics card, and these could be bought pretty cheaply. There's a lot of them available. Even if they are AGP graphics card, you could buy a GeForce FX 5900, a GeForce 6000 series AGP graphics card if you have a Pentium 4 with a 478 pin socket CPU, or older Athlon type of chipset, which also uses AGP graphics cards. And if you have a Core 2 Dual or an Athlon 264, you could buy a cheap GeForce GTX 2000, which utilizes a PCI Express X16 slot. And those video cards are not a lot of money either. And there are other GeForce video cards and ATI or AMD video cards of the same class, which are not a lot of money. And they're powerful enough to use for emulators, like Nintendo emulator, a Sega Master System emulator, a Sega Genesis emulator, a Famicom emulator, Super Famicom emulator, a TurboGrafx emulator, various types of arcade, retro arcade MAME emulators, dating from maybe around 1979 to up to, I guess, 1995, I think. They should be good enough for that. Or a Neo Geo, whether that be a Neo Geo ROMs or a Neo Geo CD-ROMs, images or stuff like that. They should be good enough for that. They should be powerful enough for that. So, and also you will need a USB arcade stick. All you do is you make a cutout in the wood, and you just put it in there. You put it into the indent, and you have a joystick, and connect that into your motherboard. And of course you'll need the wood cabinet. The way you construct this is entirely up to you, but as you can see in the diagram on the top, you see top left, that's the top view of the cabinet, and the screen would be on the top, and the controls would be on the top as well. And on the right, you see the monitor, which is like, it goes right into the wood, wood frame. And you got the controls on the right, and you have the GPU and the motherboard mounted in the cabinet. And you have the power, the orange circle, which is the reset button, and red circle, which is a power button. And on the right side, you see an intake fan. That would be a 120 millimeter intake fan. And on the left side, you see a exhaust fan, which is with a red arrow exhausting the air out. And on the bottom of the fan, on the right side, you see a gray rectangle. That would be the connector pins that go into your motherboard, which are connected to the buttons, the orange and the red circles, which are the buttons. And on the bottom of that, you see a motherboard mounting board. That would be where you drilled up holes so that it fits into the motherboard, and you screw it in, basically. So you'll need a mounting board. And on the bottom of that, on the left side, you see a hard drive storage rack. This is where you would put the hard drive or hard drives and put all the ROMs in there. And on the right side, on the bottom, see a power supply unit. This is where you would put your power supply unit and connect it to your motherboard and your hard drive and stuff like that. And your power supply, also your fans. And that would be pretty much it. And you would have something that looks very nice in your house. That looks like a coffee top arcade cabinet. Except it could be it's very versatile. You could use it to run many different type of emulators on it. And it's it'd be nostalgic as well. Anyways, thanks for watching. By Ace 1000KS 1975 signing out.